Hi, this is Mary Ann Pizzatola. I'm president of the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees, and I have Harry here with me. He is going to be our next guest today. The faces of retirees and how the unions trying to force us into a Medicare Advantage plan has affected our lives. And Harry has another story. The other day we did William Shenton and Susan Shenton, and today we have Harry, a retired police officer from New York City, who's going to share us his story and how this choice impacted his life and his family's life. So Harry, welcome.
Hi, yeah. I just give you an idea of my background and career. I became a New York City cop in 1964. I worked in the Bronx, and after 10 years of service, I was in uniform and went on a gas leak, and there was an explosion, and I was injured. I didn't work for a year and a half, and the city was having layoffs, and they put me out of the job on an ordinary disability, which is a half-pay disability, not 3/4. And I did sue, and my lawyer took off with the money. That's another story.
Wow.
But yeah, I know. But I will say the union picked up my Article 78, but I don't want to pick on the attorney, but it wasn't like the one I had, which will, of course, ended up no good because he took off with my money. But anyway, I retired in 1976. We're talking 46 years ago. So you can imagine what my pension is. Now you have to understand with my pension, it's taxable, and I don't receive the variable supplement because I got shafted on that deal when the city made that deal. They didn't give it to ordinary or accidental, they gave it to regular retirement. So I don't get that. And I just want to explain what comes out of my pension. I have taken out every month from my pension. I have money taken out for my taxes. I have money taken out for an insurance, life insurance. And I have money taken out for my handicapped daughter. It's $250 that comes out of every one of my pension check to help with her care in an assisted living. Now, my daughter, I have two dependents on Medicare, my wife and my daughter. My daughter is 50 years old. She's been on my city plan since birth. She was born severely disabled, and she now lives in a home for adults, disabled adults. And she's on Medicare primary, and she has Medicaid secondary, so everything is covered for her medically. And she used to have my plan too, with GHI Senior Care. And now with this new Advantage plan, I have to remove her from my New York City medical that I had her on for 50 years, because if she loses her Medicare and goes on an Advantage plan, she loses benefits where she is. I mean, there are aides that take her, they don't know any, well, first of all, she couldn't have it because she needs that for her plan. So I had to take that off, take her off my plan. Now, by doing that, that's $170 a month that I'm losing in the Part B reimbursement, which helped with her care. So that, of course, is helping me. Now, my wife, who is 76 years old, is on Medicare, and she has a non-city retirement. And through her plan with her job, she was given a secondary supplement plan to her Medicare by Hartford. And it's superior to our GHI Senior Care. I mean, if you want to go into it just quick, she has no deductible, and from her Medicare, they pay her deductible, and she has no copays. I mean, she has an excellent. So of course, I don't want to lose that. So I have to remove her from my city plan. Of course, if I kept my daughter and my wife on that would be another $190 each. Forget about it. I'd have to pay the city money. I'd be sending them a check. They would no longer be sending me a check anymore, a pension check.
Yeah, you'd be spending almost $600 a month just to cover your supplemental plan for the three of you.
Now, I had to go with the senior care and stay with it because I get these injections in my knees. They're called Gel 1, actually made from the rooster's crown. And they help with the meniscus, the fluid in there, so it don't grind together. Twice I called the experts on this Advantage plan. Twice the experts said they don't know it's covered. One of them even said to me, let us know if it's covered. They're asking me. All right. My doctor's office doesn't know. They don't know. They did say if it's under Medicare, but we don't really know if that's true with this because there's many different things that need pre-authorization. And it doesn't mean they're going to approve it just because it needs pre-authorization. That doesn't mean it. If they feel, hey, your knees are okay, you don't really need this because these shots are like $1,200 in each knee that Medicare pays. And I get 2 of them. So we're talking over $2,400. I'm sure that this Advantage plan is going to say you can hobble around with a cane. You don't need that. And I would have to go then and appeal it. And who knows how long that takes and if it would say, okay. So I just want to explain how this affects me. And I did write to the city about this. They even sent me something. Basically, I don't know. I forgot exactly. It wasn't nothing that helped me. And I did, the union did call me and basically say they're sorry, the PBA, but it doesn't help me. This is a lot of money to me. This is costing me over $6,000 a year. It's $2,000 on each for the Medicare Part B reimbursement for my wife and daughter. It's, I think, $2,040 or something like that. And it's like something like for 191 times 12 is, I don't know, 2,000, almost 300 or 400, something like that. So we're talking almost $6,500 here. Now, it might not seem a lot to the new pension people, because I mean, the pensions are way different than when I got out. Remember now, we're talking 46 years ago.
Yeah.
46 years. What is your pension going to be if you even get it in 46 years from now? It sounds like a lot now, but look at inflation, the way it's going.
Yeah.
And I live in Florida because I couldn't afford to live in New York, honestly. And I grew up in Queens in College Point. It was a great place to grow up, 109th Precinct. And I live in Florida because I couldn't afford Long Island taxes of $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year, just in taxes. So I have to live where I live. And I'm down in Boynton Beach, Florida, which is a great area on the East Coast. It's about 20 miles south of West Palm. And I love it down here. I've been here 30 years. So anyway, that's about it. I mean, have any questions for me? I'll be glad to answer them. I think I basically covered. I could just say one thing. These people in this organization and Marianne and all, they have saved me $1,500 so far, just in getting this switched from the January 1st to April 1st. 3 months, because we're talking 170 times 6, because it's 3 months for my wife and 3 months for my daughter, plus 3 months for me at 191. So I mean, I give what I can, because
we appreciate you.
You know, we do. I should honestly be given more, but you know, things are hard.
You
but
do.
I
We don't question that.
I know. I just kind of feel a little guilty because you did save me a lot of money, and if it wasn't for you guys, we'd have nothing. Thank God for you, and I thank you so much and all your hard work and all the members.
Well, and we appreciate you sharing your story, because it's important for the actives to know that this may be your story, but your story you have the same story as thousands of other retirees who are in a very similar situation. That your people like you were not taken into consideration when the unions made these plans. They thought it would be okay. Look what we're doing. We're giving you something better. No, you didn't take into account all the other things that affect a retiree. So no, they really didn't take a retired person into account, or they would have recognized your situation and how many retirees are in the same situation. So if you have a family member in a residential facility, you know, that is going to be a problem, because Medicare Advantage is not going to cover that. And typically these are families who have Medicare primary, Medicaid secondary, and use their city plan sometimes as a tertiary insurance. So this would have harmed them greatly, because they would never been able to go into the map. Okay, it's free, but it's free. There's no premium, but it costs you in so many other areas. So while you would have said, okay, a free plan, I'll try it. You can't even touch this plan because it would cost you thousands of dollars to do so. Your daughter would lose her care. You know, they can't even tell you if your treatment, and you've given them, you know, your doctor's information, you've given them your codes, you've told them the service that you need. They can't even tell you that they will cover your treatment, your needed treatment, in order to keep you walking on 2 feet. This is a serious situation. The financial situation to me is even worse, because you had 3 people, if you were to opt out, would have been $194.40 with the high option rider for their hospitalization, $194.40 times 3 people. How are you going to pay $600 a month for insurance? And plus, the city and the unions negotiated co-pays for the first time this year on a retired person. Now, if no matter which plan, MAP or GHI senior care, you would have co-pays. So that's going to add, you know, to your bottom line as well. It's just more money out of a retired person's pocket who is on a fixed income with very little, you know, increase. I think our COLAs are between 1% and 3% of CPI, with maximum of $18,000 pension. So if you have for some higher earners, they are always complaining because their pensions could be $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 a year. Those are the lucky ones, right? But their COLA, their cost of living adjustment, is only on the first $18,000. For those people, and there's a large group of DC 37 retirees as well who make under $20,000 a year in a pension, taxable, they are hungry for that COLA, that cost of living adjustment, but still it's only on the first 18,000, which most of them fall into because they're in that $15,000 a year pension range. But still, you're talking like 1%. What is that? It's like a $15 check every month. So where does $15 get you? Today, it doesn't even really fill up the rest of your gas tank. It's not a real true benefit to you. This is how tight our budget as a retired person is. And with inflation on top of everything, we don't have that wiggle room to be able to do, you know, to do these kinds of things and just absorb it. To share one more thing with you before we go, there was an email put out by Michael Mulgrew from the UFT, the union president that actually started this whole debacle, who wrote to his UFT retired teachers to say, you know, you should really stop complaining about this. This is a pecuniary expense. This is not pecuniary to everybody. This is painful to a lot of people, and he never took that into account. So when we first heard your story, we were very troubled by it because we felt your stress, we felt your anger, and your union should have been there. Your former union, the PBA, should have been there to protect you and say, no, no, no. Now, I do believe the PBA was one of those unions that actually did vote no on this thing, but yet they still have not come out to support us or what we're doing, or, you know, not even I didn't get a card, an email, a donation. I didn't get anything from the PBA, but they're not alone. I mean, no union actually supported us, even though about 5 of them voted against this thing. But I want to thank you for coming forward to share your story so that we can put a face on this and let people know. The unions need to know what the union members need to know what they and their unions did to you, Harry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is important. We're educating the youngsters. So I want to thank you for your time, and everyone stay tuned, because we will have more of these videos introducing you to retirees and show you how your union branded this plan as a fantastic plan, a savings plan, a plan with enhancements. And here's Harry, who this plan would have nearly bankrupted and cost his family, you know, their livelihood. So thank you, and I'm going to end this here. Have a good day.